Hey everybody! So you've all heard me talk about old home certification. It's one of the favorite designations that I have just because I'm a geek about old houses. And I got my certification through Rethos in St. Paul. They work every year certifying usually about 30 to 40 realtors for these old houses. We're talking like pre-World War II. And we do continuing education with Rethos every year. So I wanted to share some of the top 3 tips and most interesting things I learned at this year's class. So the first thing is we talked a lot about detached garages, why there's so many of them in Minneapolis and St. Paul proper. And while a lot of the garages were built before cars were common, some of them were stables, the main purpose of them throughout as Minneapolis and St. Paul developed was for fire safety. So a lot of the early automobiles had issues and they would start on fire, so they wanted to have them set back away from the main house to help with noise and then have all of the flammable materials out in the garage. And they're continuing that way just because of setback rules and lot lines and stuff like that. But I thought it was super fun talking about all of those detached garages. And if you've been in any of the really old city garages, you can even smell, if they haven't been updated, you can smell that barn smell in some of them that were used as stables. So I thought that was pretty cool. The second thing is we took a duplex mastery class, and there are only 20 styles of duplexes that were primarily built pre-World War II. And the states that had the highest concentration of duplexes were always agricultural states because there was a big migration of people from the country into the city during the Industrial Revolution. We didn't really see a lot of duplexes being built in Minnesota after World War II until the first ring suburbs from 1957 to 1965. We started to see some of those, and then again after that we didn't really see more duplexes being built until we got to the outer suburbs from the late 1970s to about 1985. So I thought that was super cool. And then the third thing, I'm just double checking my notes. We met with a structural engineer, and he shared with us that if you are ever doing a renovation or an addition to your home, if the market value of the addition or renovation to your home exceeds 50% of your home's current market value, then you have to bring the entire house up to current building code. So if you're going to put on an addition, your house is worth $400,000, and you put on an addition that's more than $200,000 worth of work, you now have to spend extra money to bring your entire house up to code, not just the addition. So 3 fun facts that I learned at my old home certification.